Have to wake up. It is time to talk about American Horror Story Hotel. Let the shining homages come to fruition. There is a lot of homages to The Shining, but not only The Shining, but we have also other kind of classic horror films. Now, before I get to Lady Gaga, because we all want to know how Lady Gaga did in this first episode, before I get to that, I'm just going to touch base and let you guys know how I felt about the overall episode, overall the vision, the story, what this first episode really did for me, and hopefully we're on the same page. Now, this is a non-spoilers. My spoiler review will come out tomorrow morning because I'm tired. So it'll come out tomorrow morning. Let's talk about basically the vision. Some of the scenes in here are graphic. So, I mean, if can't handle graphic stuff, then why are you watching this show? So, I'm just going to take an example. There's a film called American Me. It stars Edward James Olmos. At one point in that film, there is a shank, and then there's a guy's ass. That shank is inserted into that guy's ass. And there is one particular scene in this episode that is pretty graphic. There's some good visuals in here. I will say there's some nice visuals. There's some horrific visuals, which is great. And it harkens back to the old style kind of horror. It kind of reminded me a little bit of From Dusk Till Dawn to some of those zombie horrific movies, but mostly like vampire type films. Even Daybreakers. For some reason, I got a little feel of Daybreakers in here. So what's great, if you haven't listened to any of the interviews, seen any like behind the scenes or anything like that, what's great about this first episode is coming into it and like don't know what you're expecting. I had no clue what I was expecting. I have no clue what this is about. And I will say what this first episode did was it intrigued the hell out of me. It got me interested on what is going to happen next. That I always give the first episode of anything, a pass. And I will say there is some things that I need to address that didn't really work for me, but there's a lot of things that really did work for me. So the whole gist of this is basically the creators saw Hotel Transylvania and they said, "Oh, that was a fun little delight. How could we make Hotel Transylvania?" That's all you need to know. It's basic. This hotel is basically Hotel Transylvania in my mind. Of course, there's not the Mummy or anything like that. Well, I don't think so, but it's kind of like that. Now, the hotel itself is so just plain, and there's a lot of kind of not alleyways, but definitely long narrow. I want to say passageways, or just like this hotel is huge. This hotel is humongous, but it's plain and it's quiet. It's like the middle of the day, and nobody is in the lobby or anything like that. So people who come in, they're just like, where is it? Where is everybody? We first get introduced to these Swedish tourists who come in here, and gotta say, I am delighted for Kathy Bates. She really steals some of this episode. Kathy Bates, man, you can never go wrong with her, and I think she really did deliver in this episode. She was one of the best things about this episode. So we see the Swedish tourists, and they are our guide. They basically, we're finding out freaky things about when they get into a room. There's like something within that room that smells. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So it definitely brings a lot of things come to light, and there's a slow reveal towards this episode every step of the way. We're starting to find out, okay, these are what these characters are. Now, the show is basically based around this detective whose name is John. He has a family. There's something that happened in his life that we kind of like sincerely hope that we automatically kind of root for him. But I will say this: there's the one thing that bogged me down. Now, this detective John, I don't know who the actor's name is. I will give you guys an actor's name next, probably my spoiler review. But the actor who plays John, the detective that we follow, he kind of hams it up in the very beginning. I was a little iffy about his performance. And then along the way, I think he got better. But overall, I was like, dude, you're okay, but I feel like you're hamming it up, and I feel you're not really. I'm not with you on the. I feel like you're acting. I don't feel like it's genuine. So there's that aspect to it. There's that kind of like was running through my mind while I was watching this guy act. I'm like, I don't know, no clue. He kind of reminded me of Dandy for a little bit. Like, is that Dandy? But it's not Dandy. It's not Dandy. If you've seen Freak Show, so Kathy Bates though was probably one of the is the better out of all of them, and then Sarah Paulson comes in here, and her character is we do get her character is very interesting as well, and it's very interesting the circumstances between her character and some of the other characters that are in the show. I will say this. Sarah Paulson, she ain't looking too hot in this episode. I'm just saying, she ain't looking too hot. But it's going to be very interesting along the way as well. And then I guess we should talk about, before I get to Lady Gaga, let's talk about some of the editing. I thought the editing was okay. Sometimes it kind of was a little bit jarring. There was one particular scene with Kathy Bates and Lady Gaga, and the editing just kind of like, it was a little weird. It was a little rough. I think the editing could have been a little bit more smoother in this episode. But the direction was really really great. Some camera, like, the pretty much, it felt like a GoPro camera, or it felt like definitely somebody was like had the camera on somebody's shoulder, or the close-ups, or trying to make it like in your face, like the fisheye kind of point of view. I didn't necessarily like that. I wouldn't go for that, honestly. I would keep it clean. In this kind of series, I know I always say, like, try something new and, give us something different. I felt like it felt like it was trying to be a little bit too much of The Shining. But all in all, I did feel like the direction was fine. It definitely was fine. There was a lot of great visuals, like I said, and there was a lot of great camera angles. But some of the camera angles and some of the camera work, I felt like, okay, I want to do that. You're doing a little bit too much. Just keep it a little bit simpler, and I think it would be more effective. I felt like the music was set the tone very nicely. Now let's just get on to Lady Gaga. Okay, Lady Gaga. It was a great. Well, it was kind of interesting how they presented her when they first introduced her character. I didn't expect that at all. There's one particular scene that maybe they introduced her way before, but overall, when we see Lady Gaga, it was an interesting way to showcase her. But she does this one thing that I'm like, oh my, did they really go there? I laughed my ass off. I was like, really? They really went there with this scene, really? Oh, the people who watched it knows what I'm talking about. It has to deal with the park and two other couple. It was just ridiculous. I was like, oh, this is not starting off good. And then there's one particular scene that's a little bit graphic. I felt like I was watching a porno, honestly, a Cinemax porn. I will say though, Lady Gaga she's not attractive. I don't see. I don't think she's. No, I don't think she's. I'm sorry, I don't think she's pretty. But that's not necessarily the case. I mean, she has a fiance who's at, I believe, Chicago Fire. When he watched this episode, I wonder what his thoughts were going when he saw this particular scene. But Lady Gaga, I will say this though, Lady Gaga didn't do too bad in this episode. She didn't do amazing, but she didn't do too bad. They didn't give her too much in this episode to say like any of the lines and everything like that. I feel like she'll definitely get more workload in the upcoming episodes because she is kind of the main focus. I can see why a lot of people are talking about her. However, I didn't think she did too bad. I thought she did okay. I thought she did not too bad. I thought she did better than the detective, honestly. But like I said, some certain scenes were like, oh, Lady Gaga, no, please, no. But however, I think she held her own. She held her own. So I'll give Lady Gaga props on that. Definitely, I'm interested to see what her performance later on in the episodes. If it feels like she's gonna be natural. It feels like when I saw the preview that she'll do pretty good. So we'll see. Good first night for Lady Gaga though. Bravo. So basically that's about it. I don't want to spoil anything. I'll get more in depth in my spoiler review. But overall, it was a good first night for American Horror Story Hotel. There was a little things that kind of were a little wonky. And the storyline itself, there's some things that kind of like, why would you do that? Kid, what the hell are you doing? You don't listen, do you? Why are you leaving her? You'll get what I mean. But check out my spoiler review, and I'll have more in depth about. There's more depth about a lot of things I didn't necessarily like, but a lot of things were very good in this episode that makes me very intrigued and very interested. So the first episode was definitely a success. Hopefully the second episode brings out more and we get to know more of the other kind of characters and what is going on in that hotel. So thank you guys for listening, and I want to just real quick remember, I'm having American Horror Story giveaway. So all you have to do is tell me why you're an American Horror Story fan and what you look forward to in this season. And if you automatically qualify to win this mug from Freak Show, yay! Awesome. I will pay for the shipments and everything. All you would have to do is private message me on where to send this baby. Also, this will be going on until the end of probably the season. So you guys have a chance. So comment below and let me know why you're a fan of American Horror Story and how you got into it. And also, what is your expectations for this season or your overall thoughts on this first episode? I'd love to hear you guys' overall thoughts on this first episode, and I will reply back. I always do. So thank you guys for listening. I'm Dan Manicki, Dan's son. Please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Please like the video. Well, if you like it, and comment below, like I said, and I look forward to all you guys' response. Jessica, that was good. That was a good episode, right? All right. See you guys.